Hello, and welcome back to Inside Japan. I'm Shane, and I have to say that I am sore from a hike I went on to the beautiful Mount Bōnoore near Hano City in Saitama. The hike starts at the Sasabiri Hot Spring, which is a good place to relax when you're finished with the almost 6-hour hike to the top and back. At the beginning of the road, there's a nice place to pick up a complimentary walking stick if you want one. With or without a stick though, you will walk uphill on a road for about 1 kilometer. The road takes you to Lake Naguri and the Arima Dam. Yeah, that's me, happy just to have made it up the hill. We got very lucky with the weather. We had a relatively clear day in the middle of rainy season. Less than a kilometer past the dam, you'll find a sign pointing you to where the trail starts. It starts off steep and never really levels off until you reach the summit. We paced ourselves, took it slow, and really enjoyed the beautiful scenery, sounds, and smells of the forest. I must say that the constant sound of the river running through the gorge it has carved out over many thousands of years was a very good way to cover up the sound of my panting and desperate struggled gasps for breath. Shirayazawa Trail is quite rocky and can be somewhat dangerous as you constantly cross over the wet rocks on the river. After a rain, and especially during rainy season, the trail, even away from the river, can be slippery because the rocks and tree roots don't often see direct sunlight. Some areas are closed off to hikers for safety reasons. That katakana on the sign reads Kiken, which means danger, or don't go the way of the X. We came across some canyoneers who had the right equipment to climb directly up the falls. But equipped only with boots and rubber gloves, we wisely decided not to follow them. Instead, we took the path that zigzags back and forth across the river. Climbing up the falls was the best part of the hike for us. It was very exciting and a lot of fun. The green lushness of the forest was really beautiful, and I often paused to look around and take it all in. It also gave me a chance to catch my breath. I paused a lot to, take in the beauty. The path is really well marked despite the number of times you have to cross and recross the river. Ropes and chains are placed in more challenging places to help you climb safely up and over steep rocks and slopes. I highly recommend bringing gloves with you for a firmer grip. I always just use 300 yen gloves you can get at any convenience store. There are also steps built into some areas. Wooden steps and erosion walls never really seem to last very long in the mountains of Japan, mostly due to rain, humidity, and simply the sheer constant power of nature. But this trail is very well maintained. In places where there aren't any steps, there are enough tree roots to help you keep your footing. We did see a sign that warns hikers to watch out for mamushi, Japan's most venomous snake. It's called the Japanese moccasin or pit viper, whichever name you think sounds cooler. I'll go with pit viper. But we never saw one. We did come across frogs, lizards, spiders, and pretty much everything else you'd expect to find in nature. And by the way, I wasn't disappointed that we didn't see a mamushi. It took us around 3 hours to reach the top of the mountain, which included many stops for photo opportunities, a lunch break, and a few stops to, take in the beauty. The peak, once you finally make it there and are able to fill your lungs with enough air to lift your head and look around, offers a view all the way to Tokyo. In the distance, we were able to see Tokyo Skytree. Unfortunately, our cameras were not. There is a different path down the mountain that goes through a cedar forest. The cedar trees block out much of the sunlight, which is good in summer if you're looking to escape the heat. We followed it for a bit, but eventually chose not to take that easier path home. We had so much fun climbing up the falls that we decided to go down the same way. Now, going down slippery rocks is much more dangerous and more of a challenge than going up, that's for sure. But if you go slowly, take each step carefully, make sure you have solid footing before transferring your weight, and resign yourself to getting wet, which feels great when you're really hot anyway, you should be okay. Watching me navigate these falls should inspire everyone to get out there. Lord knows I'm not graceful, but I sure do love getting out in the mountains and climbing around. If you're looking to get out of Tokyo for a day and get some fresh air and exercise, I really recommend a trip to Mount Bōnoore. That's all for today. This is Shane from Inside Japan. Please subscribe, like, share, and everything else. I'm gonna ice my knees now, so I'll see you in the next video.